Hello! This session is about the basic PoolParty Extractor API. We are going to get into more detail about text mining with PoolParty using the Concept Extraction Service. The service will be helpful in analyzing documents and text through extracting concepts, named entities, or other metadata automatically with high throughput and accuracy. When we talk about the Concept Extraction Service, we will mention the API call, showcase a use case of it, and look how to optimize the precision of the extraction. We will also discuss the role of the Index Builder service, also called Extraction Model. The Concept Extraction Service can ingest text from different resources and return a defined number of concepts from a thesaurus which are identified in the text. In addition, the service also returns a defined number of terms relevant for the text. The text resources can be presented as a string, a file, or a URL to the Concept Extraction Service. The types of files which can be used are the same as the ones defined in the Apache Tika toolkit and includes HTML, XML, Microsoft Office documents, PDFs, and much more. You have seen the Concept Extraction Service in action in the Corpus Management, which is a feature available in the PoolParty Thesaurus server. Next, we will look at the REST API call. This service is used in a wide variety of use cases, each of which take advantage of the different parameter configuration of its API call. All the API calls in PoolParty can be accessed via authentication by any user existing in PoolParty. Of course, the user has to be in the same user group as the project they want to access. For more details about user access rights, check the session about user management. A basic concept extraction call would look like this. The parameters are URL for the URL of the document, project ID, the UUID of the project in PoolParty, and language, the desired language of the analysis. The Concept Extraction Service has, of course, many more parameters that can be used. We will explain some of them further on. The result of such an API call is presented in JSON format, and it contains the extracted concepts and the free terms. Let's take a look on an example. You can reach the Extractor service on your server by adding /extractor after the URL of your server. Here you have an entry point to the documentation of all the RESTful API calls of the Extractor service. And let's jump into the extract call. Here you have the possible parameters that you can use for the call and how the response would look like. If we take a look on an API call of the extract, you can set the URL, the language, and the project ID as basic parameters for the call, and you get a JSON response in return. For this browser we have a plugin that can display the JSON in a nice way. So we see here the free terms with their scores and frequency in document, and down here we have the concepts extracted on a piece of text. The concepts contain information such as score, frequency, alternative labels, and so on. If we navigate back to our extractor entry point, we also see here the test extraction, which is a form that can be used to make fast first checks of the Concept Extraction Service on your thesaurus on a piece of text. So let's copy the text about Carajillo from Wikipedia and paste it in our test form. Down here we have an option to select one of the projects from this server, and we can set other parameters such as the number of concepts. So let's see what we get. we have a nicer overview of the JSON response. So again, the concepts extracted with their scores and the free terms with their scores. Whereas the free terms are not the most relevant for our domain, but this can be improved if we use a reference corpus. So again, the test form is just for us to quickly test how the extraction call works, and it's not meant for your end users. A direct use case of the concept extraction service is the PowerTagging solution, which we can integrate in different content management systems. This is the Drupal demo website, which you can reach at this URL, where we can showcase PowerTagging. Of course, you can navigate to other features such as Sonar Web Mining and Glossary, but let's focus on the PowerTagging tab, where we see a form connected to a PoolParty server where the Eurowalk thesaurus resides on. If we upload the sample text, we can analyze it, and we would get the concepts with their scores. Concepts are coming from the Eurowalk thesaurus, and free terms with their scores. In the annotated text tab, we get to see, for instance, where the annotations were found in the text. Let's go to the PowerTagging node list. Here we would find a nice overview of all the content nodes in Drupal with their according PowerTagging tags. The ones in blue are concepts coming from Eurowalk, and the other ones are manual annotations or free terms. For instance, for the concept of vote, we can go to the taxonomy term detail page, which is a landing page showing us all the content nodes which were annotated with the vote concept. The interesting part happens if you're logged into the backend of the system, because then you can create new content. So let's go ahead and create a new article. For this we need a piece of news, so we just copy from BBC an article where we copy paste the title and the content, and down the page we see a section called PowerTagging tags, where we can then get the tags automatically for our text. We see here in blue the concepts coming from the Eurowalk thesaurus, and in yellow we see the free terms which were suggested to us. Down here you see the exact same annotations in gray, and they are just used for a nicer way to work, to select which annotations we want for our text. I can also, of course, input my own tags manually. They will look up like this, or I can take advantage of a nice autocomplete where the concepts are coming directly from the Eurowalk thesaurus, and annotate the text. And this would be PowerTagging for Drupal. In the previous PowerTagging use case, we saw also some generic tags such as sale and bank, which maybe are appearing frequently throughout all documents of our content management system. One option to not get these concepts as tags is to blacklist them in PoolParty. They will basically not be considered in future extractions anymore. To activate this, navigate to a specific concept in the PoolParty frontend and find the Add to Blacklist button. This can also be done programmatically through this API call. However, this method is part of the PoolParty Thesaurus Server API. Find out more blacklisting options under the PoolParty Thesaurus Server documentation or on our general help site. Let's take a look also at the other parameters of the concept extraction call. There is a parameter which improves the extracted free terms, the corpus scoring. This requires a corpus ID, which is obtained when you upload a corpora in the corpus management feature. This corpora can act as the context of the domain you are doing concept extraction on, and focuses the suggested free terms on the context reflected in the corpus. You can learn more about corpus management and the concept scores in our previous sessions. The extract call can return even more information, like location, person name, sentiment, custom class, and DBpedia information. One just has to activate the according parameter in the API call. Together with a PoolParty installation, you also get a geolocation index, which is used for the location extraction. The same is for the person names. The person names can be also exchanged or improved easily by providing a text file containing these names. There are also some other changes you can make to influence the concept extraction service. You can exchange the list of stop words used in the extraction for the reason of adding your own stop words or to set it up for another language. You can also provide your own lemmatization file, which contains different word forms used in the extraction. All this gives you more flexibility of how you can influence the extraction call. The concept extraction service is working based on the concepts that you have in your taxonomy, which are written in the extraction model before they can be used in the service. This extraction model is a translation of your thesaurus into a format that is optimized to extract concepts from text very quickly, an index. In order to use the PoolParty extractor, we first have to calculate the extraction model. This can be done on the front end of PoolParty from the Corpora menu at the top left and select Refresh Extraction Model, or through the API with the Index Builder call, which is part of the PoolParty Thesaurus API and not on the Extractor API. The basic call looks like this. You put the project UUID, which you want to refresh, and then just do the call. The status of the extraction model is shown on the front end in an alert message top right. You can find out the status also programmatically through this API call. Again, this call, like the one before, is part of the PoolParty Thesaurus Server API. When you do changes to the thesaurus, the extraction model might need to be refreshed in order for these changes to be taken into consideration for the extraction services. Changes that require updating the extraction model include creating and deleting concepts, adding, deleting, or changing labels of concepts, adding concepts by importing data, adding or removing concepts from the blacklist, and merging concepts. There are changes to the thesaurus that you can make which do not affect the concept extraction itself, such as relations and custom classes. If you also make use of this information on the extracted concepts, then of course you need to take care that the extraction model is refreshed when this information changes as well. In this session, we talked about the concept extraction service, which is useful when we want to do text mining with PoolParty. We talked about the API call and we showed the PowerTagging use case. We also mentioned useful API parameters and some of the configuration files which can be used to further optimize the precision of the extraction. We also mentioned the Index Builder service and when to refresh the extraction model. See you next time.